Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Community Voices. This is going to be a bilingual town hall meeting, and we call it Open Doors, Open Hearts. And by the way, my name is Jose Alonso Corpus. I'm a volunteer board member for the Eagle Pass Border Coalition here in Eagle Pass. And I'm honored to be helping facilitate today. Today is going to be a special event. Como sabemos, nuestra comunidad es bilingüe. Y vamos a estar ofreciendo transmisión y preguntas a los futuros candidatos en los dos idiomas, en inglés y en español. Esperemos que las personas que no puedan responder en inglés, perdón, en español, lo vamos a hacer en inglés. So for the people, the candidates who cannot respond in English, in Spanish, we're gonna allow them to respond in English. I think language should never be a barrier to participation. We believe that most of our leaders are bilingual. So if you're not, don't worry, you will be able to respond in English. We want to make sure everyone is included and can fully engage in the language that we can all understand. So I'm gonna right now talk about our community norms. There was some safety concerns about the event. We hired 3 peace officers, and we also put together our community norms. So this town hall meeting is a space for open and respectful dialogue between the candidates and the people they hope to serve. It's an opportunity for friends, family, neighbors to come together, share concerns, and hear directly from those seeking our votes. The host of these events, again, we want to be clear, we're nonpartisan organizations, and we will remain neutral. Our role is simply to provide a fair, neutral, and welcoming space for conversation. To keep things fair and organized, we have drafted these set of rules, community rules. So if we can have one person speak at a time, we will allow 1 minute per person to ask a question to the candidates. And we're going to be using this podium, and we're going to have a couple of seats to take turns. So we will not allow any interruptions, shouting, using vulgarity or profanity at no time. This will not be permitted. You will be asked to leave or will be escorted out if you get out of control. We will not tolerate any type of hostile environment. So again, we're here to ensure, the peace officers are going to be here to ensure that everyone is treated with respect, right? So we can keep the discussion on track. Again, thank you so much. So right now, I want to introduce Mr. Fuentes to come and help us facilitate and introduce our candidates. Mr. Fuentes.
Thank you, Jose Alonso Corpus. I appreciate you. And thank you to everyone for being here, for taking the time to visit the 3rd event of what's been an incredible journey to bring attention to civil conversation within our community. I'm very thankful and very blessed to feel that our community now is on a new path because we have some very interesting candidates that have stepped forward to take on the challenge of being a public servant. It is not an easy task to run for office, to go out there and meet different people. It's difficult. And I thank the 2 gentlemen that are behind me today. And let me just, if I may, go into just a quick story about how everything has developed over the last month. We set up 3 events. March 18th, we conducted the candidate Q&A session. And that was open to the public, and there was no fees. Anybody could attend, and it went extremely well. The candidates that took the opportunity to come and meet with the people that were there, plus the people that were on Facebook Live and later on YouTube, they did an amazing job. That was on March the 18th. On April the 2nd, I believe, we had our mayoral debate, which was also very well attended and well received on the Facebook Live of the Eagle Pass Business Journal and on the YouTube channel of addressing your concerns put forth by the Eagle Pass Border Coalition. Today is the third event in a series of events that the Eagle Pass Border Coalition, the Eagle Pass Business Journal, the Elm Creek Park, and Greenbelt Association, along with the Eagle Pass Digital Art Society, put together for the community members to get to know the candidates. We are a nonpartisan organization, and we just wanted to create an open forum where people could come and listen to our candidates, because a lot has happened over the last 2.5 years. This is an election year, and we've had some very talented individuals step up, and I'm thankful for that. I'm glad that we're here today, and we've got a great little setup for you. I'm excited about the gentlemen that are behind me, Mr. Casas. I'll give him some time to introduce himself, and Mr. Hansen Tessie. And it's a great event, but I also got to tell you that in a way, I am sincerely in debt with these two gentlemen that are behind me, because I guess the announcement of these 3 events happened way in the beginning of March. So people had the opportunity to schedule and plan and be here for the community. And I can tell you that for me personally, I had to give up a speaking engagement in Los Angeles, California to be here, because I love my community. And I gave up a speaking engagement in Laredo, Texas for today, because I love my community. And gentlemen behind me, thank you for loving our community. And I appreciate you both for being here. Sometimes we have to make commitments that require that we be there, that you stand up and deliver. And I'm thankful that we have this open forum, and I'm thankful that these gentlemen are here to basically answer your questions once we get going. The format is going to be simple. After the introductions, we're going to conduct just like 10-minute sessions to answer to 3 different questions. And then after that, we're going to open it up to the people that are here. And like my colleague Jose said, we want to remain civil, we want to be respectful, and we also want to conduct ourselves properly. And thank you to the Eagle Pass Police Department for your presence here. Appreciate you. And it's going to be a great event. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you to the Eagle Pass Business Journal also for running this live. There's just so much to do. Okay. So let's take a deep breath and just feel the power of being in this room with neighbors, with leaders, with possibility. And I'm going to give the gentleman behind me 2 minutes apiece. If you don't mind, timer, can you be prepared to introduce themselves and tell you a little bit about themselves? And then we're going to get into the question Q&A. We're lucky to be joined by a powerful group of community leaders who are showing up every day to fight for housing, safety, schools, and opportunity. It gives me great pleasure to introduce to you Mr. Jesus Casas. You'll have the mic, Mr. Casas.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so excited, even though I'm a little bit tired, but I'm so excited to be here. Since the beginning, one of the things that I promised was to be an open book. Every time I go and knock on doors, every time I get to see people, every time I get to meet people, I'm always, an open door policy type of person. So I guess I'm used to people ask me questions since, as a CPA, being 25 years in business, people usually go to my office and they usually ask me questions. And sometimes those are difficult questions, sometimes are easy questions, sometimes, we need to find those answers. I don't know all the answers. But one of the things is that set me aside from so many other candidates is that I'm here so that I can respond to the people, I can respond to my community directly, and not to be hearing, faking news about, me knowing all the answers, because I don't know the answers. All I know is that there are concerns out there in the Eagle Pass, Mayoral County area that is very common knowledge to everybody here. I mean, we have so many things going on and so many questions, that need to be answered. We tried through these 3 events, to actually be able to answer those concerns, those issues, those questions that might be in our minds and might be, the reason of us voting the right way. So I guess at this point in time, I'm using the mic not to introduce myself. I'm pretty sure, we have introduced ourselves in the past and in our platforms, but I'm here so that I can face the community, because I believe the community needs answers, and the answers that I'm offering is those that I know, and those that you don't know, you get to research, you get to do your homework, and be able to bring all that information to a negotiation table, to a discussion table, so that the people that we're going to be representing is actually feeling proud of ourselves, proud of the people that actually is representing them before. I don't know, it might be, a community problem, it could be taxes, it could be negotiation between economic development, business persons, and ourselves. So I really appreciate, being here, and like I say, I'm an open book. Feel free to ask any questions. I'm here to do it, and I'm not afraid to face the community the way, the community wants to be heard. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Casas. Next, we'll have Mr. Hansen and Tessie introduce himself, and for the next 2 minutes.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Sorry. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Hansen Uy Tessie. I am a husband and a father of 4. I came to the United States in 1995 with a working visa. I've seen familiar faces here, so you probably heard before what I'm about to say. But when I came here, Clinton in the 1990s had approved his Balanced Budget Act, and what it meant for me was cutting of the nurses and the staff in the hospital, so it was almost impossible for me to find a job. My first job was as a detention nurse at Crystal City. That's why I know Eagle Pass and Del Rio and Uvalde. So I worked there for a couple of years and then moved to work at a hospital. And then afterwards, I decided to study some more. I went to Houston, worked there in the ICU, and then studied for my master's degree in nursing, specializing in anesthesia. So that's what I do now. I provide anesthesia for people who need surgery, for people who are having babies who want epidural. I do it in the hospital. The reason why I work in the hospital is because I like taking care of people who need medical or nursing attention. Not because it's easy, it's because I want to help people. So for 20 years now that I've been in Eagle Pass, I work at the same facility at Fort Duncan Regional Medical Center. Every day when I'm at work, hand in hand with surgeons, techs, and all the support staff, we take care of our patients to the best of our ability. And that's what I intend to do if I am fortunate to get your trust and your vote and get elected in City Council, is to do my best, not because it's easy, it's because I like to help. A lot of you may have heard or seen me at the hospital or in the community. I always try to introduce myself to people who are interested on listening on what I do and what I intend to do. So this afternoon, I welcome any questions and all questions that you may have. I may not have all the answers or the answers that is needed but every day I try to learn and I try to improve and try to do my best. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ortiz. We're going to go ahead and get into the what we call the 3-minute or 3 10-minute rounds. And since, of course, we were expecting a lot more candidates to be present, we're going to trim it up a little bit. So, timer, can you reset the time for 4 minutes, please, per? And we'll go with that. Mr. Casas, Mr. Ortiz, you'll have 4 minutes to answer this question, the first one, and then we'll get into the second question and the third question. Let's begin with the heart. The question is, what drives you to do this work? What do you believe our community most needs right now? The question, once again, what drives you to do this work? And what do you believe our community most needs right now? Mr. Casas, por favor.
What drives me to do this is the love for my community. I've been here for almost 40 years, and all I can say is that my commitment to the community has always been present in previous positions that I've held in the past. All these positions that I've got, they were done, in the best possible way. And when I say the best possible way, I mean I go the extra mile to make sure that I don't really concentrate on what has been done, but what needs to be done. And that's what drives me. Drives me the fact that we can do better every time, and we can actually become a better community by being here, by listening directly from the people, from the community, the citizens of the Eagle Pass, making sure that those concerns, are heard, and not only heard, but action is to be taken. And in order for you to make an action, you actually need to know the concern, know the issue, and being able to not concentrate on the problem, but resolving the problem. And that has been my professional experience in the past, in the private field, and it has been my motor to keep going, at the political area. I do believe that results are what actually people are asking, and one of the things that people is actually needing, I believe that's the question, right, Mr. Fuentes?
Yes, sir.
What people is needing is transparency. Transparency, and again, becoming trustworthy. Becoming someone that you can see at the eyes, you can look at the eyes and make sure that whatever the issues are out there, because issues come and go every day. Right now, we do have some of the concerns that people have, questions, and it seems to me like we have been deceived into thinking something that is not the right answer. I do believe that, let me just give you a real example, that the festivities, the festival, is actually something that they're not giving us the answer, because the answer is there. I mean, we already know the fact, and the fact is that we had the $2.3 million loss, but do we know what happened? If you're expecting the party that was the promoter to give you the paperwork, then we're kind of, behind on that, because you know for a fact that someone is not going to incriminate themselves, in providing you that information. So by the forensic auditors stating that they're not getting to any conclusion on the audit because they need more information, I mean, they know better. The city council knows better. I don't know what is it that they're covering up, but all I can say is that it is that transparency that we're lacking that has the people here at the community of Eagle Pass really thinking about a real change. And that's what we represent, a real change, because we don't have nothing to hide, and they know that. That's why they come up with so many things about, ourselves, making sure that they somehow they discredit, our persona. And that's the reason that we are here, because we cannot control the issues and we cannot control the questions, But that's why we're facing right now, that this town hall meeting should serve that purpose. Thank you very much.
Excellent work there, Mr. Casas. Mr. Hansen, Tessie, also the same question. What drives you to do this work, and what do you believe our community most needs right now? We're at a point in our community where there's a lot of questions, and I thank once again these gentlemen for being here. Mr. Tessie, 4 minutes.
Thank you for the question. I think what the City of Eagle Pass need or has needed and continue to need is to prosper. I've been here 20 years and our city has grown a little bit. I don't see good jobs or great jobs, so a lot of our people that have the talent and the skills are being poached or have to go out of the City of Eagle Pass to find nicer jobs or higher paying jobs. So what I think is our community here have to find a way, we have to find a way how to improve from within. Our skills, we need to be developed so companies can come here and establish their company and can hire locally, and that will be the start of good jobs. And good jobs will let people stay in our own community, and our population can grow this way. If we don't grow jobs and we don't grow our population here, I think for the next 20 years we'll still not prosper. So I think the very basic need that we have is skills development, so we can attract companies to come here. I have a business, and I asked our supplier, our manufacturer, why are you not producing at the border? Why are you not producing these things just right closer to where your office is or where your company is? And the usual reason that I get is because of the difficulty of finding skills in a certain area. So without skills, there will be no manufacturing, and without manufacturing, then it would be difficult to find jobs. Hotel jobs, restaurant jobs, they are available, but without the people patronizing these businesses, they're not going to prosper either. We could have another 10 restaurants here, but if the same amount of people are coming out to eat, then these other 20 restaurants or the first 20 restaurants would have less customers. And it's going to be the same for all kinds of business. You have to have the people that have the purchasing power to patronize this business in order for the community to grow. So that's been what has been lacking, I think, for the past 20 years that I've observed. The people grew, the population grew a small amount only, and the skills that were not present before are still not present today. That's all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Otis. We will continue on to number 2, round 2, which is dealing with accountability and action. And the question is, and we'll start with Mr. Otesi after you just finished. You're coming back up. In your role, what's one promise or initiative you're working on this year, and how will people know that it's actually getting done? In your role, what's one promise or initiative you're working on this year, and how will people know it's actually getting done? If I may read this in Spanish, also for our viewing audience out there. en su puesto, ¿en qué promesa o iniciativa está trabajando este año? ¿Y cómo sabrá la gente que realmente se está cumpliendo? Mr. Hanson Utesi, please.
Thank you for the question. So one role of City Council is allocation of city budget. We have the eyes to look at the budget, but we also have the responsibility to make sure that the budget allocation is correctly done. Numbers are numbers, but you have to analyze whether it makes sense. Just like what Mr. Casas mentioned before, you could put millions, on the spreadsheet, but does this number make sense? What I promise is, with fresh eyes, I will look at the city budget and I'm gonna make sure that it makes sense. And if it doesn't make sense, of course, I will voice it out. I would make sure that people are aware of what the money is being allocated for, and of course, I want to make sure that the money is being used efficiently, because these are not our money. The money that the city collects are the money from the people of Eagle Pass. So that's one thing I promise. And as far as my job, I always get things done. I never walk away when the things get harder. I never leave my patients, so I would do the same thing when I'm working as a city council. When the job gets hard, I'm there to finish it. I'm not going to leave. I'm not going to let things just hang unfinished. That's my promise. Thank you.
And now to also Mr. Casas, in your role, what's one promise or initiative you're working on this year, and how will people know it's actually getting done? Mr. Casas, thank you.
Very simple. Promise, I'll be the watchdog. I'll be the watchdog for the community. If something doesn't make sense, we're going to question. We're going to make sure that we get the right answers. And if people is not giving us the right answers, we're going to return them back so that they can do the research, and making sure that any business or anything that has to do with the city, any changes, that need to be made, I should be there, in different committees. It's just like, I remember back in the day when I used to be at the waterworks, I know the mayor had a seat there. I know that when I used to be at the bridge board, the mayor was there. So yes, my promise is that I'm going to be doing, a watchdog role that can actually look for the best interest of the community. And that thing is going to be done every time we have a meeting, because you're going to be able to see me face to face, making the questions, making sure that the people is understanding what we are committing to ourselves, in the different areas of concerns that the city may have. So I will invite the people, I will invite the community to come and visit us to those meetings. Not only leave that to the media, which I do respect, but see it from firsthand, see it from face to face, making sure that that you know what is happening. If something is not happening, one promise that I will make is that I will make sure that at least, you will see me on press releases once or twice a week, talking to the media, talking to the people, making sure that whatever is being discussed, we're getting some answers.
We move on to question number 3, which I really like this question because I know we're all concerned about the future, and it is a question about the vision for the future. Okay, The question goes like this. If we got it right, if our community was thriving 5 years from now, what would it look like, feel like, and sound like? It's a difficult question, but audience, if you hear something that speaks to you, feel free to raise your hand or to come back with it later once we get going. But I'm excited about this. It's a beautiful question because whoever runs for office has to have that vision, the vision of the future. And like we all do, we want to do things that's going to benefit our community, it's going to benefit our constituents, and it's going to benefit society in general. So this is an amazing question, and this will be the last question that we will close the 30-minute session, and then we'll go into the audience questions. Once again, Mr. Casas, if we got it right, if our community was thriving for the next 5 years or 5 years from now, what would it look like and feel like and sound like? You've got the floor, sir.
The community will be a community that has trust. I see that trust in the next 5 years because I believe that trust is very important. It's a very important quality, and that's something that we are lacking as we speak. Unfortunately, this administration has lacked, transparency, honesty, because even though the information might be in front of their eyes, they don't see it, or maybe they don't want to see it. So one of the things that I would like this city to be seeing, in the next 5 years is not only the trust and the honesty and the transparency, but you also gotta understand that we gotta sit down with the right people. We wanna sit down with the different departments, making sure that we have a short term, a medium term, and a long-term plan. When I say that, short term, I define that a year or less. Medium-term plan will be probably 5 years or less. And a 10 to 20 year plan, that will be a long-term plan that will make sure that whoever is coming after us has that road paved. Because we're not here to make any obstacles for whoever is coming behind ourselves. We're here to make sure that our kids, our community, our future leaders, make it better because of the work that has been done by previous administrations, and that's what we're promising to do. Thank you very much.
As we continue once again, if we're there at a point where we're in the future, one of my best films was Back to the Future. I don't know if all of you remember that. Marty McFly. Absolutely. And the future is amazing when you think about it. What's coming, technology, the industry, the trade. We're growing. But it has to be strategic. It has to be planned out. It has to be organized. It has to be well planned. And it's always great to hear people's visions of the future, especially if you're vying for a position of leadership. So, Mr. Hansen Utesi, same question. If we got it right, if our community was thriving 5 years from now, what would it look like, feel like, and sound like? Mr. Utesi, please.
Thank you for the question. If we got it right, I think we would start to believe that prosperity would be within our reach. The time right now is even better than previous times. AI technology and robotics would equalize our manufacturing expenses compared to cheaper labors outside this country. If AI technology and robotic technology are developed in a way, in a way that it enhances production, then we won't be competing a lot with cheap labor from other countries. But we also here in Eagle Pass need to believe that prosperity is within reach. So we provide good feedback, good vibes to our own people, even to our own relatives and children, that we can improve and we can achieve bigger goals and prosper here in the city of Eagle Pass. I don't think it will take long for AI technology and robotics to come to fruition. So this is a great equalizing factor in terms of manufacturing and production. Thank you.
All right, so we've reached that moment where now it's your turn. And we ask you to consider the questions that you're going to be asking our candidates who most graciously took time from their day to come out here and to listen to you. Hopefully you can participate and ask the questions that are community-centered, community-focused, and within reason. Of course, we do not want to insult or disrespect anyone. We want to be respectful. And like I said, through the community norms that my colleague Jose mentioned, we want to be always at our best behavior. And it's great to applaud and support, but let's be civil. The way we plan to do this is, if you have a question, we would like for you to come and have a seat over here in this area, and then you can come up to the microphone and designate which person you would like to ask the question to. And I believe we're going to give you, because there's so many people, we're going to give you 2 minutes to ask one question. Okay, you can formulate it and then answer, ask the question. And if there's more than 3 or 4 people there, then we just ask that one question, and then you can come back and sit down and go through this turnstile again and ask another question. So that everybody gets a chance to ask and to hopefully hear a conversation. We're going to pace it that way. So at this time, I would love to have audience members, if you have a question that you would like to ask any of the candidates, to briefly step up, if you'd like. Excellent. Oh, you have a question, Mr. Please, come on up.
I'm sorry.
No, don't worry about a thing. Okay. And now back away here, and then when you get to the mic there, we can get you. And if by chance you don't have a question, we, as a resourceful Eagle Pass Border Coalition, Eagle Pass Business Journal, and organization, we also have some further questions that can be asked through one of our representatives, Mr. Jose Alonso Cobos. But sir, you've got the mic there.
If I may, actually 2 questions. Okay, is it possible?
You know what? Because of the fact that we're missing some candidates, and I think we'll have the correct time. So you can ask your first question and then continue on to your second question. Is that okay with you, sir?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. And the person you'd like to designate the question to?
The gentleman
Mr. Casas?
right here.
Okay.
Yes, sir. My concern is this, okay? I've had a lot of problems here within the city. My question is, has anybody ever taken an oath of office?
Does anybody, meaning the political... I mean, I can talk about myself in the past when I had become chairman for the hospital district, and I believe that the Mayoral County tax assessor collector, they did an oath on me, and that's what, it's a little ceremony, and then you get to be notarized, where everybody's in agreement. And I just want to mention to you that in the past, on my last position, I was chosen unanimously by the 4 commissioners and the county judge to represent as the Mayoral County tax assessor collector. So yes, I did those, I believe, in 2 occasions. And of course, as a CPA too, I had to do that before the Capitol when I became a licensed certified public accountant.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And if I may speak to the other gentleman?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Myself?
Sir? Oh, I'm sorry.
Hello.
This is a different one.
Okay.
Okay. Has anyone ever read the Constitution?
Are you asking if I've read the Constitution?
Have you ever?
I have read the Constitution.
Okay. I'm sure since you immigrated here, and I'm sure that you wanted to know as much as you could about your new country. It's very important to me because I've taken the oath of different offices at least 8 times. Okay.
Okay.
And what I see here, oh, I'm sorry, I'm getting into the conversations. May I?
You may.
Okay. What I see here is that we, and I'm with you, okay? I'm with you. We are supposed to support and defend the community, the people that live here, okay? And we're not doing that. And that's an opinion. Everybody's entitled to it. I fought for that one too, okay? And I think that we need to focus on those things that will push the community into progress, okay? I love Eagle Pass, and I love its people. I want you to love them too. I thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you for what you just have said. I love the city of Eagle Pass too. If for other reasons except for love, I would have left Eagle Pass already. Actually, my family is not here with me. My wife is in San Antonio because my son is studying there. I don't help my kids' dream. Everybody has their own dream. My daughter is in California. My oldest, she is working with an AI company. My other 2 kids, they're still in, well, one just graduated college and the other one is in college studying pre-law. But you are right, and I agree that public officials in the city of Eagle Pass has to protect the interests of their community. And actually, we have to watch out for how our budget is being spent. And hopefully everybody, also watches out for each other. There's only 5 people in the council, the mayor and 4 city councils in Eagle Pass. And there are almost 50,000 people here in Eagle Pass. So it's going to be a community effort to watch out for each other. By that, I mean we have to love our own community. If we do not, then who do we expect to love it for us, right? we have also to believe that we can be destined for success and that prosperity is within reach. If we don't believe any of this, then we would easily be convinced that this is not the place for us and we will go somewhere else. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for coming up, Mr. Lynn. I appreciate that from you. We're going to continue on, and once again, I'll post a question of this great opportunity that we have. And I'm, like I said from the very beginning, I'm very thankful that these two gentlemen are here behind me, ready and willing and able to answer any question that you might have for them. And an open forum like this is rare. It's rare when we get an opportunity to have a direct communication between a candidate and the audience. And right now, town hall meetings in America have become very popular. There's a lot of discontent. Whether you're for this group or for that group, there's a lot of discontent. And of course, there's a lot of discontent in our community too, because a lot of things have happened that are questionable and that make citizens doubt that if the persons that are representing them as elected officials are doing their best. Are they considering the people's best interest or their own interest? So this is a great forum. I'm happy and I'm thankful that each and every one of you are here. But this is your opportunity to ask questions. And it's your opportunity to be inquisitive. It's your opportunity to, if you support one of these candidates up here, it's your opportunity to say or to ask that question. Because it's how these candidates answer the questions that's going to let you formulate an idea of who do you want representing you. And I'm thankful that, like I said, since this event has been advertised over a month and a half ago, that these two gentlemen, out of their busy schedule, planned to be here. And I'm thankful for that. And Ms. Juanita, would you like to ask a question?
Yes.
Come on up. Who would you like to pick? Tell which one?
No, well, it's a question for both.
Okay. All right.
I was just wondering if y'all are aware of what's happening at Shelby Park. I mean, I know you're not in office right now, and if some of the candidates that are in office right now had shown up, I would want to ask them the same question. As you all know, Governor Abbott closed off Shelby Park, prohibiting all of our citizens from using the park, using it as a political propaganda. And now last Sunday, all of a sudden we got the word that the gates were open. So Mr. Lynn Bandera, big shout out to Lynn, he and I had been at an Elm Creek hike, and after we were having pizza. And when we heard, we immediately rushed over to Shelby Park to see if, in fact, it was true that the gates were open. Now we're talking about a park where city taxpayers have been paying taxes on, and we are being prohibited from using it. I was just wondering, are you all aware? I know you're not in office right now, but have you been, because I did ask one of the council members, and they were like, they have not been told anything. As a matter of fact, one of them, I advised him that the gates were open. And yes, in fact, Mr. Banderas and I went, and we practically drove around in like a donut. And we were not told anything, and there were only a few soldiers there. There was nobody at the gate. Then I went to the flea market, and it was open for us to park there, which was a big relief. Anyway, I know, like I said, we don't have any candidates here that are in office right now to ask this question, but since y'all are running for that position, I would think that you might have an interest in that. Exactly what is going on, what's going to happen with our park. Will they make any type of reparation? Not only the damage they've done to the park, but reparation for the amount of time that the citizens of Eagle Pass were denied access to their park. I don't know if y'all have been down there, but it's a mess right now. So that's my question to both candidates. I'm just curious, have you looked into it? Are you aware? Do you know anything about it? Thank you.
Thank you, Juanita Martinez. Thank you. Let's start with Mr. Otes. If you would like to answer that, please.
As far as I'm aware, that Shelby Park is still under the control of the state, and I haven't been to Shelby Park myself, but I see military personnel or reserve guards. I see them around the city, and I am certain that they are here for that purpose. In terms of our use of the park, what I recommend is for us, if we are in the city council, or for the city council officials that are right now, is to communicate, get a timeline from the city, get a projection as to how much longer would they need to close the park. I don't think there is an issue for us to oppose their presence, but to close down the whole park is a different thing, right? In terms of reparation, if there is a way to calculate how much would we want to ask for them to pay, of course, we can submit something in that effect, but we cannot, I don't think we can force the state of Texas to pay us. It's our, it's our park, but just a few months ago, the state of Texas spent millions or tens of millions of dollars protecting that border. We could not protect that border ourselves. So if we start asking for that, and they send us the bill for protecting our border, which costs more, right? So in my opinion is, if we could come up with something that makes sense, submit it to them and see how they respond. And a timeline would be a good way to communicate, hey, Governor Abbott, our citizens want to use the Shelby Park. I don't see a lot of military presence there anymore. So would it be possible, to give us back access of the Shelby Park? Thank you.
Well, last year I had an interview by a Chinese media company. I don't know where they came from, but they were here. So they were trying to get me into what would I think about President Biden, what do I think about Governor Abbott. So I didn't want to give the wrong answer. So I'm thinking that there's two perspectives. When President Biden was in office, I believe he had an open borders policy, and we here at the Eagle Pass, Maverick County, we suffer some of those consequences. That's for a fact, because businesses, were upset. Businesses were actually very disappointed on all these massive people coming from South America. And then at the same time, we believe that President Biden maybe, wanted that policy because he wanted to be humanitarian. Let's just pretend that. And then we have Governor Abbott having this perspective of protecting the border where Texas starts. That's, Eagle Pass, Maverick County. And I do believe, that each one of them had their own opinion on how they handle this. I do believe that Governor Abbott was actually trying to protect this massive immigration from coming in a very disorderly way. And I believe President Biden somehow wanted to open the border to be more humanitarian towards those people that are in need because they're vulnerable because of the violence. So I'm not gonna go into, one way or the other. All I'm saying is that now that I believe Governor Abbott is seeing that that the border is being safer and that the immigration is being a little bit better controlled and better organized, I do believe the need for having that type of security is no longer needed, maybe at a very moderate, level. And that's what is happening. So what we need to concentrate is not what happened in the past, but we need to concentrate on what is it that is going to restitute, or city legal pass or parks. And that's the idea. I mean, if the state government is requesting some reimbursement to the federal government in the billions of dollars, I just don't see why we're not supposed to follow the same path, saying, at the local level, we need some support from the state level that is requesting, all this reimbursement in the best interest of the community. Thank you.
Yes, Shelby Park is quite a subject near and dear to my heart. I do a lot of kayaking and canoeing on the river, and for my entire life, I used to always be in the river, fish in it, swim in it, have mud ball fights in it, and on occasion go to the other side and play around over there. But it's a whole new perspective that what's occurring right now at Shelby Park is that the Texas Military Department has pulled back from the front gates. They're still at the river's edge, and they still do not allow access to the boat ramp. And I think in one way or another, the river connects us. It's a part of our culture. It's a part of our history. It's a part of our story. And it's a beautiful river. And we are a river community, whether we like it or not. But that is a different issue. And I thank you, Ms. Juanita, for bringing up that question. I'd like to, I know that Jose has some pretty cool timeline of questions. Jose, if you don't mind, can you give me some of the storyline there from the podium there, so that the people can hear it and ask? Maybe we can show of hands if there's nobody else that wants to come up and ask. Would you like to come up? Let's get to go ahead. ¿Es it for both?
En inglés o en español, ¿verdad?
Sí, en inglés o español, como se pueda. Ok, gracias.
I am so very proud of you two.
Thank you.
You got a tight belt, you are gutsy. You are here, you're facing the bullets. You all deserve to be elected. To come over here and be bombarded when you don't know what the questions are going to be, how many people are going to be here. This is amazing that you are both here again and again and again. So I'd like to clear up one issue on the that was brought out about the Shelby Park. If I remember correctly, and everybody's aware, that Shelby Park is in a total flood zone. And we all know that Eagle Pass, when it rains, it pours. I remember way back when Hector Chavez was Director of Public Works, that they gave him so much recognition because there was a cat that was stuck in the middle on top of a building, and he swam over there to save the cat because the water was all the way up to Commercial Street. Shelby Park was never paid with taxpayers' money. FEMA kept coming in year after year every time we had a flood. and they help the people that were in the flood zone because they lost everything, and they go back and start over again. And finally they got fed up after so many times that they told them, you move out, we'll give you the money for your property and get to higher land, because this is going to continue on. You're not going to change a flood zone. So they did, and what the people did, through FEMA, they quit claimed their property. They got their money, they moved out. Mr. De La Torre was one of them. He moved his business to Sec Mines. But the property was not bought with taxpayers' money. It was donated to the city for whatever purpose as a quick claim because of the flooding, and it was done through FEMA. I just want to clear that. It's still a flood zone. And that's how come the city has never put any type of fixed sports equipment there. I remember when they had a carnival. You may have an activity there for 2 or 3 days and watch out, here comes the water. I remember seeing the Ferris wheel floating down the river. So come on, let's be realistic. Let's not make Shelby Park like, oh my God, all the children used it. That is not true. We know that. Yeah, some people like Mr. Fuentes, they might have gone through to go fishing or take his kayaks, whatever he did. But he was in the water, he was not in Shelby Park. They've been using this politically, and personally I'm fed up. Because just like both candidates indicated, what is the value of protecting the people of Eagle Pass as opposed to using the park for drinking parties once or twice a year? Come on, let's be realistic. We need to start we need to stop complaining of what the government tries to do to help us and start thanking God for the blessings of their help. My question to I keep pronouncing your name, I'm so sorry.
Hanson.
Thank you. I want to ask you a question. I'm going to ask you, Mr. Casas, a different question. Thank you. You or somebody to be admired for even coming over here to run in Maverick County. You have to be very courageous to run for office in this community. I haven't heard a single thing negative about you, but I think it's because nobody knows you. And I'm very nosy with politicians, I am. So if I don't know anything about you, then nobody else does either. I love to investigate people, especially candidates.
Understood.
So I'm going to say this. You have mentioned in all 3 public meetings that we've had that you are a professional, that you've been here 20 years, and I respect that. But I want to ask you, over and beyond you taking care of your family, your job, your patients, what are other community activities have you been involved with to help the community in other areas that are not running for election? Could you deliberate on that?
Thank you for the question. And I don't have a good answer for your question. I have never held any public office. All my life up until today, I've devoted my entire life to my family and my profession and my business. But somebody told me before, you're gonna have to start somewhere. And this is the somewhere that I'm planning to start. For the people that don't know me or haven't heard about me, one thing I would suggest is to look me up in Google. I have some reviews in Google, and of course, most of these reviews are from my patients and some are from my colleagues. I think you'd find, comments there that are positive about me, and all I can say for now, without having served in the public office or the community, is if you trust the reviews that you read in Google, and I'd invite you to read all 171 reviews. If you trust that, then I suppose you can trust me.
In all due respect, I do trust you. But, you said something struck in my mind when you said that people need to Google you. The only reason we don't know you is because you put everybody to sleep.
Well, probably 50% of the patient I put to sleep. The other 50 is I put epidurals and spinals, so
oh my goodness.
Even with anesthesia.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the question.
Mr. Casas.
Yes, Judge.
I wanted to ask you a very simple and difficult question. Throughout the years, since 1973 that I came back to Eagle Pass from California, I've been involved in the political arena. I've served in different offices. But because of the corruption that's there all the time, election after election after election after election, your answer to some questions is that you want to be open, you want to be trustworthy, you want people to trust you, and you feel that lack of trust is really, transparency is what people want. But yet, the fact of the matter is that Eagle Pass has been in political control for many years by the same families, the same groups, the same everything. I know that I was on the school board at one time, and they kept telling me that I couldn't do anything because I was one of 7. But when I saw the corruption in there, I called the Texas Rangers in, and there were 7 people indicted and put in prison. As a matter of fact, I've been a Republican since then, and one was a Republican, and I didn't care. If they're stealing money from the taxpayers, I feel that those other people that are on the council representing the community should report it to law enforcement. Now, right now, the issue is that there's $2.3 million that are unaccounted for. If you get elected, and I should say you will get elected.
Thank you.
When you sit and raise your hand, are you willing to go the whole 9 yards and call the FBI, the Texas Rangers, the Attorney General, whatever you have to do to put in jail those people that don't deserve to be sitting as elected officials? Are you willing to do that?
Yes, whenever it needs to be done, will be done.
Thank you very much.
This is building up just the way we thought it was. It's going to be very interesting. Thank you, Ms. Guetta, for coming up.
Sir, I need a minute for a rebuttal.
All right, rebuttal. Go ahead, Miss. We're gonna give
We
you.
did not specify that the city was bought, that the city bought that property. We did not say that.
We're gonna
What
give
I
you
said,
4 minutes.
yeah, thank you.
Go ahead.
What I said was that city taxpayers, the city taxpayers.
There was a gentleman in front of you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Since she just finished talking, I just thought a quick rebuttal, and it won't take long. But you know what they say, if you have a question, am I right, am I not right? hey, let's just Google the heck out of that and do some, and do a little bit of fact checking. Well, according to Google, city taxes, particularly property taxes, are a primary source of funding for the maintenance and upkeep of local parks like Shelby Park. Local government use these funds to pay for salaries of park maintenance of infrastructure, and other essential services. We were not allowed to continue to maintain the park, but we were allowed to keep paying taxes for it. Just wanted to clarify that. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate you. Mr. Corpus?
I will highly recommend that we focus on questions. This is a forum for Q&A, so I'm hoping that the audience can help us by submitting only questions that pertain to the candidates and the community. So I think we appreciate if you can help us with that so we can maintain order. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Corpus. I appreciate that. As we continue, we're doing real good on time. We're going to spend like another 10 minutes on audience questions. Mr. Fuentes?
Hello. This is going to be kind of just a short question, kind of just because of what was brought up within Shelby Park. And so I personally believe that everyone's entitled to protection. So how you achieve that protection, however, is always what causes trouble. And I personally don't believe that barbed wire and military is the way we should protect our border, because it does nothing. It's just a show. It may look intimidating, however, as you know, human beings, we are tenacious. I will ask the candidates, what is the methodology that you prefer to choose to continue forward with our border operations? Because I feel like a lot of money's been wasted and it's all for nothing. They say that it's reducing numbers, but that's just because of administration. If a person is desperate enough, they'll crawl through hundreds of miles of barbed wire to get where they need to be. So my question is, should we go more humanitarian or continue this hostile takeover?
And this question is to both candidates?
Both candidates.
All right, Mr. Utes.
Thank you for the question. In my opinion, we need to use any available and all available resources, including barriers and objects, to discourage people from coming in illegally. So what I'm trying to say is, if at this point we can only provide this type of barriers, then we can use it for now. It doesn't mean that that will be a permanent way to discourage people to come in. But if you don't have anything, there will be nothing to discourage people from coming in for areas that are not guarded by human, entity. You could have the drones, you could have lasers detection, but when they come in, they're detected that they're already in here. Once they're in here, then there is a process that needs to be done for them to be deported back, or they could stay. It just depends on how we look at it. To me, deterrent usually works. It is not foolproof, and you are correct to say if someone's determined to come in, they'll likely succeed. But if you don't have a deterrent, even the people that are trying to come in will succeed. They don't have to be fully committed to come in. They just think, hey, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try to sneak in, and they'll be able to succeed. So deterrent works. It's not foolproof. We have to use what is available to us right now. It would be nice if you could provide something that is more efficient, but these things will take time and take money. So with that, I believe that objects being placed as deterrent is doing some of the work of protecting our border. Thank you.
Mr. Fuentes, right? Mr. Fuentes, do you have your front door locks, right?
Yes.
Back in the day, do you used to have an alarm? Maybe not, right? So as things get worse, you know, security-wise, you need to act on that. And when I say that, I mean maybe right now you can say, well, my locks are enough, my door locks are enough. Maybe you might say, well, my alarm now, it has escalated to an alarm system. Maybe things get a little bit dangerous, and then maybe you can buy yourself a bulldog, right, in the front yard, making sure that no one comes into your house. So I see this way. I mean, if we're a peaceful town and we're a peaceful community, we all know each other here. We all know each other. And we truly believe that even though some crime happens in the city, within the city and you know, the county, somehow that type of crime is kind of very, very small. But then when you have people that you don't know their backgrounds, you don't know if they're actually hiding from these South American, you know, countries. You don't know if they're carrying a gun. You don't know if they are sex offenders. You don't know if they kill someone. We don't know for sure. So yes, I do believe that we need to be starting, you know, soft, but as things migrate or escalate to a different level, then we need to adjust to that. And I believe, you know, with this massive migration that happened, I truly believe that something was required to be done. And I don't know, I mean, this might be my opinion. I do believe that we need to protect our borders. We need to protect our community. And that was seen, you know, with this last election that has always been Democrat, and then, you know, it changed somehow to Republican. I mean, I can't control what people think. All I can tell you is that people here at the community of Eagle Pass in Marvin County, they were just tired, you know, of all this nonsense of, you know, the open borders, because we truly believe that there was some people that really deserve, you know, those permits. But there are so many people that we don't know about, and we need to be protective of our community and especially our families. Thank you.
As a response to the candidates, thank you for your response. And I think you guys brought up a very important point, which is understanding the situation and knowledge. Because if you put up a wall, someone's going to bring a ladder. If you put up a fence, someone brings a cutter. There's always going to be retaliation if you put up something hostile. I've personally, because I know Carrizo Springs had a detention center, and they're taking it down right now because they're not using it, but to take care of immigration through our actual processes, so that way we know who these people are that are coming in. And since knowledge, a lock is only as good as how strong the bolt cutters are.
Thank you. Thank you.
Just wait a second. This past week I was at the Rancherita El Aire and for an interview. They asked me, you know, something in regards to immigration and all that. And all I can say is that the people from Piedras, when back Claudio Bres, Presidente Municipal, was there, he was able to control very, very good, you know, the situation that was going to be affecting us. And I believe, you know, if we could be taking care of that issue from the, you know, the initial country where everything starts, let's say Honduras. I mean, if we have an Honduras consulate, maybe we can start those things over there instead of having all this massive. Same thing for Colombia, same thing for Venezuela. We don't know if the people that is coming. We always try to think the best possible way, and this possible way is thinking positive, but the reality is that we don't know their backgrounds. So I believe that the problem should start being resolved back over there, so that by the time it gets here, we get better control of that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Otesi, Mr. Casas, for those excellent answers. And thank you, everyone that stepped up to the mic. We've reached a point in our agenda where we're winding it up. And we're going to go to what's called the lightning round, where we ask one simple question of the individuals that are up here. And with that, and then we'll go into the closing. I want to thank everybody that stepped up to the mic. And let's give yourself a hand, please. There's instances in the history of Eagle Pass where and I think I mentioned this when I was testifying at the state level, where the original township of Eagle Pass in the mid-1800s was washed away when it was settled at the intersection of the Rio Grande and the Rio Escondido. And then in 1954, we had the major flood that washed away our international bridge. And I believe it was in the early 2000s also, we had an incredible flood in the western Maverick County where we couldn't travel to Del Rio because 277 was about 10 feet underwater. So there's a lot of issues in our community, and there's a lot of issues that need to be addressed: flood mitigation, proper maintenance of streets, making sure that our residents, our communities are helped, our elderly, our children, the education. So many issues, and it's a difficult process, but I'm thankful that there are strong individuals like the two gentlemen that are with me on stage that are willing to take on those challenges. And thank you all for asking the questions. We're going to close with this one last question. What's one action this community can take this week to help move us forward? ¿Qué acción puede realizar esta comunidad esta semana para ayudarnos a avanzar? Mr. Casas, please.
Yo solo quiero decir esto en español porque sé que mucha gente nos está viendo. Respeto mucho a las personas que hablan también en inglés, pero tenemos una comunidad 96%, Mr. Calderón, no, 95%.
Correcto.
Entonces, quiero decir algo muy importante. Siempre nos quejamos, que si la corrupción, que si no dan cuentas, que si no son transparentes, que si ya hicieron sus cosas, que si los mismos de siempre, que si las mismas mafias o corrupciones. Hay tantas y tantas quejas por 4 años. ¿Cuántas horas nos tardamos en nuestras redes sociales? Horas entre semana, viendo, pues a lo mejor mensajes, viendo chismes, viendo qué hizo el amigo el fin de semana, dónde tuvieron mis compadres, se fueron a Cancún y no me invitaron. Entonces, yo todo lo que les pido a la gente y lo que quiero que haga, la acción que quiero que haga la comunidad por nosotros, los que estamos participando, los que damos la cara, los que no traemos preguntas preparadas, es algo muy importante. Danos 30 minutos de tu tiempo para que no te tengas que quejar 4 años. 30 minutos. Ve y vota, y ve y vota por la
Wow. I thank you, Mr. Casas, for that recommendation. And Mr. Otesi, if you can also, what's one action this community can take this week to help move us forward? Please, sir.
Thank you for the question. As a community, I think we have to believe that prosperity is achievable. But more importantly, I think we have to take personal responsibility of how we use our time. Education is much more accessible now that we have phones, internets, and learning new skills, learning new knowledge, learning new things that could make us grow is really very important. Even if you just look at what we can do and what our kids can do in terms of digital technology, we are way behind. We are twice or 3 times their age, but they can do things like 2 seconds that would take us 2 hours to do. We are not dumb, but we just don't take the time to learn it. So let's take the personal responsibility to learn what we can learn, and even don't be afraid to ask for help, even from our own kids, on how to do things. It's that desire to improve ourselves, and if a lot of people do that in our community, then our community would improve too. I came from a person that graduated college, cannot find a job, to being able to find a job in the detention center, to a nurse in a rural community, and to attaining my master's degree, and now providing anesthesia, and have some investments and business going, in my portfolio. So I'm an immigrant. I came here when I was already an adult, and I was able to achieve all of this. Not that I've achieved a lot, but compared to where I was and where I am now, I think I have achieved the American dream. Yes. And everybody can do it. That prosperity is within our reach, then our community would do a lot better. Amen. And another plug-in, to find me in the reviews, you have to put CRNA. So it's my name, Hanson Uitesi, CRNA. If anybody's interested, it's out there, available for everyone to read. Thank you.
We've reached the point where we're going to conclude our program for this evening. But before we leave, I'd like to just read a few words here that my colleague, Mr. Jose Alonso Corpus, put together. Thanking our leaders, and especially to all of you out there. This space is powerful because you're in it. The town hall was designed to be bilingual and inclusive too, so everyone could show up and be heard. And we hope you felt that tonight. And we want you to stay connected. There are sign-up sheets outside. Let's keep the conversation going and turn these ideas into action.
And go vote.
And go out and vote. Listen, there's so many issues affecting our community, our county. The Eagle Pass Border Coalition is an organization that's open to promoting and enriching our culture and being a spokesperson for those people who sometimes are afraid to speak up or are in need of help. We're always looking to promote our community as one of the best areas on the border. And we as an organization like to thank all of you that have showed up. If you made it to all 3 of them, congratulations. You should be proud. Give yourselves a hand. Listen, and before we leave tonight, if you wouldn't mind, I would really like to take a photo of all of you. If you join us in front of the stage with 2 candidates up here and myself, Mr. Corpus, and take a big photo if you wouldn't mind, because I think the people deserve to know that you are dedicated individuals and you made an effort to show up and that you're here. And for that...
Early voting starts on Tuesday, April 22nd.
Yeah, it's coming, guys. I mean, Mr. Corpus, do you have anything that you'd like to direct to the community?
No. Just want to thank everybody that made it today. We're hoping to continue having these kind of spaces so we can all learn, right? This is a win-win for everybody. Candidates learn from the community, and we also learn, from our candidates. So this is great. I'm excited. And pues nada más que muchas gracias por apoyar y venir y escuchar. realmente nuestros candidatos y pues ir adelante a ver, tomar una mejor decisión informada cuando se trata de nuestros candidatos. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, candidates, for being here. Thank you very much. And if you'd like, we'd like to take that photo. Thank you. Come on up, please. Please.